Hi guys, Miss Thomas here. I'd like to introduce to you one of my most favorite artists. His name is Andy Goldsworthy. He is an artist that was born in England, but he lives in Scotland, which makes him kind of now Scotland bound. He is a land artist. What a land artist means is that you exclusively use materials that are found in a landscape. Meaning if you walk outside the door and pick up leaves in your hand, then you create an artwork using those leaves. His artwork is also ephemeral, which means temporary. The artwork is created, it only lasts as long as the environment allows it to last. So here's some examples of his work. Andy Goldsworthy is a sculptor, but he's also a photographer, which means that he has to record every moment, either with a camera or a video camera. Which is awesome that you guys are at home right now because you have access with your iPads to take pictures of the awesome things that you're going to be creating. Now in this image, he laid all of the same colored leaves on his face, had his head leaned up, and then he blew. And he had someone else record this while it was happening so that he had a permanency to this creation of work, but that the act of creating was the work itself. And after he finished blowing, it was all gone. So make sure that when you guys go to create your own work, that you make sure that you record what you are doing. Now, in this next piece, the color of the leaves is what creates the impact. If you guys don't know, my favorite thing to say already is this is an analogous color scheme. That yellow to orange to red to dark red. And because of that analogous color scheme, it creates really, really powerful impact on the ground. With that dark black center hole, that's actually a hole that was already there. And the reason why it looks so black is because of the contrast that the yellow leaves have against the black. Similar situation with the tree. The reason why that yellow is so impactful is because of how dark the tree is in comparison to how bright those yellow leaves are. So in this next one, he used sticks exclusively, which then kind of goes away from the idea that he's using color. But using this stick, he creates rhythm and unity and movement. Now we're going to watch some videos about Andy Goldsworthy's process as well as more of his artworks. Stay tuned.
This is the place where I found the red stone. I mean, I found this red all over the world, in every country that I've worked in, and the reason our blood is red is because of its iron content, so we share a connection with the stone. But when I find it in Australia or Japan or France, you know, then I feel like I'm touching a bit of the red here too. I'm tapping into the same vein. Well, the source of scar snowball was made several years ago and was one of a series of paintings or drawings, watercolors I guess, that were made from snowballs collected at the source of the scar. And they were mixed with stone pigments and earth pigments collected along the scar between where it rises and where it joins a nef. This is more or less how the one in the Tate was made, and it's been out here for about an hour now, and it's just beginning to melt, and I can see a small pool beginning to form at the base, and at some point it will start to draw itself down the paper, which is on a slight slope. Instead of sitting and doing a watercolour, say, of the Lowther Hills or the hills around here, these paintings are actually made in a process that is the same way. You know, they're not represented; they are it. The snow is the place. The pigment is the place. The way they melt is how snow melts. The way the paper reacts with that melt is how the landscape reacts to the effects of water. I can control the rate of melt to some extent because of the heat of the room, but I would never kind of start tilting the paper and working it. For the drawing to have its integrity and strength as an artist, I have to kind of stand back. And that's a really interesting situation for an artist to be in, where actually not making something produces a far stronger result. Any space, no matter how beautiful, is a dead space compared to outside. I can only sustain installing or working inside for so long before I start drying up a bit. An art has this amazing ability to show you what's there. You're not this kind of observer, and I'm a participant, and things are being continuously revealed through what I make, and that's ultimately the reason I do it.
As you can see from these videos, Andy Goldsworthy works with the things that he has in his environment. In some cases, it's rock materials that let off a red hue that he can let melt on paper. In some, he finds sticks, breaks them up, and then he manipulates them to become unique geometrical moments in a very natural, organic area. This doesn't always have to be the case. And in fact, you don't always need to use material in order to create a moment of art. In this next clip, Andy Goldsworthy lays down and he lets the rain create work for him. Hi guys, I hope you guys are doing well. It's been a beautiful 2 weeks off. I have continuously been going a little stir crazy in my house, trying to get a lot of things done and just hanging out and weathering the storm. The beautiful thing about this quarantine is that you guys are allowed to go outside and be in nature. And that's kind of why I brought Andy Goldsworthy to us, right? So I hope that you watched these videos and you really found enjoyment out of the things that he's making. So I know you're gonna hate me, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna write a little bit of a paper. In this paper, you are going to be writing a little bit about a piece that you find interesting. So go to Google Images, search up Andy Goldsworthy, and pick one of the images that you find most inspiring. Once you have that done, then you are gonna take it to Google Docs, insert the picture, and type me a little bit of a paragraph, right? In the first paragraph, I want you to write what it's made of, how you think he made it, where you think it is, and all that fun stuff. And then in the second paragraph is where it gets a little bit technical, so I'm sorry about it, but I want you guys to learn, right? So I want you to look at the elements and principles of design, which I've included on Schoology. And I want you to go through and I want you to pick apart pieces from the image that you found and relate it to the elements and principles. I would like you to use 3 principles and 3 elements. All right, my dears? So 3 elements, 3 principles, and just kind of describe why it is the case. So let's do a quick example. That one with the dark black hole in the center and the yellow leaves that turned orange and red, you can say that it has color, it's got an analogous color scheme, it has good value, it goes from light, medium, dark, it has good contrast, the dark hole, the yellow leaves makes really good depth, all these fun things. So I just connected that to like 4 or 5 things, right? And I gave specific examples for how it is. I want you to start analyzing more about looking at a piece of work and realizing why it's awesome. So, and that comes a lot from learning and just having that innate understanding of the elements and principles. They aren't rules, but there are things that we continuously use over and over again in our works to make them better. Okay, guys, I love you so much, and I hope that this finds you well, and I cannot wait to see you when you guys get back. Okay, I'll see you later.